It's so hot out. Why is it so hot?
Well, the ozone layer is depleting.
Why?
Because the spirits are upset, and they're leaving us to face the consequences of our actions.
Why are the spirits upset? What happened?
Do you want to hear the legend of how the ozone layer was created?
Yeah!
Years and years ago, before there was an ocean, before there were even any lakes, it was very hot. In fact, that's why there weren't any lakes. The sun would evaporate any water shortly after it rained. People were dying from dehydration and heat exhaustion. The population was dwindling. The people didn't know what to do. Their attempts at storing water just weren't working. The council members were at their wits' end. If they couldn't figure anything out, all their people would die. Each night they got together and thought up ways to store water. Then one night, one of the council members had a plan. What if there was something that could absorb some of the sun's rays? The other members thought that was a great idea. But how would they do that? This is where they were stumped. The council was getting more and more worried. Each day somebody died. They continued to worry. What would the people do without them? Unfortunately, the council members continued to die off, one at a time, until only the chief remained. He knew his time would come soon, so he appointed new members onto the council. It was small, but it was something. The next day, he was going to come up with a plan for his council in case he died too, but he was too slow, as he did not wake up. The people were all restless and worried. They didn't have a chief, and they didn't know who should be the next one. The old chief watched his people from afar. He watched them from the ground. This confused him. He knew he was a spirit, but why didn't he float up into the sky? Surely there must be something wrong. Then he noticed the other council members' spirits a distance away. He walked over to them and asked them why they didn't go up into the sky either. None of them knew. The council members waited to leave the earth, but it didn't happen. Then one of them had an idea. Maybe they still had a purpose on the earth. The chief agreed. It must be up to them to figure out how to save their people. They were discussing this when a child came walking up to them, looking for any signs of water. She couldn't see them, but the council members kept quiet. Suddenly, the girl stopped and yelled to her mother that it was cool where she was, which was right in front of the chief. The chief then had an idea. Their spirit forms must be soaking up the sun's rays. He told the other members, and they decided that they needed to get into the sky and stay up there to soak up the rays of the sun and save their people. They all held hands and jumped up into the air. They floated up, 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 and stopped. They were very high up in the sky. They waited to see if their plan worked. Soon the people stopped what they were doing and looked up into the sky. They realized that the air suddenly felt cooler. They were all so happy that they began to dance. Soon, rain clouds appeared and drops of water began to fall. They all danced in the rain and then they began to collect water. The next day, the people woke up to see that there were still puddles of water on the ground, and there was plant life beginning to grow. Everybody was ecstatic. There was hope for them.
So, how do we get the spirits to come back?
We show them that we care about our earth.
How?
We recycle as much as we can, reduce the amount of energy and gas use, and use eco-friendly products.
Do we do that?
Yes, we do.
Good. It's too hot out.